All right, let's talk today about the hidden cost of low prices. This is something I've actually talked about over on my political channel before in the context of how being poor can be really expensive and how there are companies that sort of take advantage of that. Here, we're going to try to keep it more financial. As a general concept, it's great to find ways to save money. It's also good not to spend so little on goods that because of their inferior quality, they don't actually last you as long as they might, and you end up spending more money in total. There's also the possibility of saving money by buying in bulk. You're talking about a larger total cost, but a lower unit cost. I might even go over unit cost because I don't want to assume people even understand some of these concepts. So, a really common place where this happens is clothing. And in fact, in shoes, it's quite common. I know lots of folks who say, I don't have money for like the $140 pair of boots. So instead, I will usually buy like a $40 pair. Right. And what will often happen is that the $40 pair lasts you one season, whereas the $140 boots might last you eight. And obviously, spending $140 once in 8 years versus spending $40 eight times is going to make it more expensive to buy the cheaper thing, and it often will be lower quality as well. Very similar with coats. I used to get really cheap coats. Sometimes they would be like $70 or something like that, and they would just be wide open. They would be ripped open after one season. And for not that much more, I think now I've spent like $180 on my coat. I know there's people that spend $700 on these Canada Goose Down things or whatever, but I've already had the $180 coat for 4 years. You can already see sort of how this works and how it becomes less expensive. The other aspect to this is sometimes the companies with the more expensive clothing items offer a significantly better warranty. They might say, if this thing just like fades and stops working, it just breaks apart quite literally, whether it's shoes or a coat or whatever, within 10 years, we will replace it for you. Really important to look at the fine print at clothing companies. There are tons of these warranties, guarantees that are in the fine print. They're not widely advertised. Why? Well, because if you don't know about it, if after a year and a half the thing is turning to powder, you just go and buy a new one. But in many cases, there actually are guarantees in the fine print, so it's very important to look. Phone chargers, right? I mean, it's really common that you've got the option, you look on whatever online store, there's like a $9 phone charger versus a $25 one. Yes, it's like almost three times as much, but the $9 charger often comes with a really terrible cable and it wears out, and then you stop getting fast charging, and on and on and on. Sometimes the hidden cost is a sacrifice in safety. And that's where it can get important to a different degree. All cars are held to minimum safety standards, but you can choose to pay more for additional safety features, higher crash test ratings, etc. Tires are another example. Sometimes you save money up front and there's a hidden cost. Cheaper tires can wear faster, which can lead to a tire failure, which can lead to a blowout, not a diaper blowout, by the way. I'm talking about a tire blowout. Hydroplaning, paying for towing, a more expensive repair, on and on and on. This can also apply to a mechanic. Sometimes there are cheaper auto mechanics who might offer you a cheaper but temporary or lower quality fix. And over the long term, it will not only take up more of your money, it will also take up more of your time. You won't have the car available while it's back in the shop, and on and on. DIY has become a really popular hobby in recent years, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. What's important to think about is it cost effective in many cases? How much, at what price do you value your time? And it might seem like you're saving money with DIY, just buying the parts, but once you add in your time, if you're in over your head, it can actually become more expensive over the long run. And then you've got buying in bulk, okay? That is something that, again, it costs more, but the unit costs are lower. So there's a bunch of stuff that I now buy in bulk. So things like toothpaste, right? You might have a toothpaste that is, $7 a tube, or you can buy, for $21. Yes, you're spending $21 up front instead of seven, but you have four times as much. It's a lower unit cost. A lot of times, this stuff is made very clear at the grocery store. You will have a price tag, which will say, usually over here, there's like a separate area. It'll say the price is, it's $4.99, and then you look here, and it'll be like $10 per pound or something like that. And then you'll see another one and it'll say, oh, this one is only $3.99. You save $1, but the unit cost is $12 per pound or something like that. This is like basic stuff that everybody should understand how to look at and understand your unit costs. Toilet paper, paper towels. Look at this terrible hand. I'm so fired up about it. All of these things you should consider, if you can afford it, getting the lower unit cost by buying in bulk. One that a lot of people don't think about is light bulbs. Sometimes you'll go and you'll see, there's like the CFL and it's $8, and then there's a normal like incandescent bulb and it's $3, and you go for the $3 one. If the CFL is rated for way, way, way more hours, you are not going to have to change it nearly as frequently. And over time, it's also going to save you money. Wall paint. This is a classic. Wall paint varies dramatically in price per unit. You could get a gallon for $17 versus $35 or whatever. If you need more coats of the cheap stuff, is it really cheaper? And then how is it going to last over time? Mattresses sometimes can fall into this. Furniture for sure. It has become huge now. It's basically disposable furniture. You buy it once, you build it, it's not going to survive a move. So then you throw it out and you get something new. Whereas quality furniture actually will last you a long time. Appliances is another one. So the concept here is sometimes it's actually really expensive to choose the cheapest thing. Now, can you afford the more expensive thing up front? That's a socioeconomic issue, which we deal with more over on the David Pakman Show channel.